Hey polish freaks, welcome back. It's summer. Just kidding, but it might look like summer with the shirt I'm wearing. I was looking in my closet the other day and I was like, my closet is so neutral and so bland, but I actually really love that. I love neutrals. I like to decorate in neutrals as well, but I love some good color. I need to wear some more bright colors. So I saw this hot pink shirt at Aerie, loved it, and it's kind of fun. So I'm wearing it today. It's obviously really bright, so it's a little bit deeper in color than it's showing up on the video here. But they had a really cute waffle Henley. You guys know how much, if you follow me on Instagram, how much I love the Ari waffle Henleys, and they had a hot pink one and it's gone. It's not even on their website anymore, so I keep stocking it, hoping it's coming back because I love those Henleys so much and it's just such a fun color. I will link this shirt down below. I thought it would be fun to wear this while I'm talking about summer collections because we're getting into the summer collections, even though it's just spring. But I'm starting out very first here with the OPI summer collection. It's the Make the Rules collection. It's an interesting collection, you guys. So I want you to stick with me through this video because I am going to walk you through all these polishes. I'm going to show you what they're close to. I'm going to give you kind of my theory behind the collection. There's some definite positives to some of this and some really standout colors. So I hope you'll stick with me through this video. I watched a few other reviews on this. I don't usually do that. I don't usually watch other YouTubers' reviews, but it was really interesting because they were all kind of negative. I'm all for going for 3 coats on a color that I love because I am a color person. I love colors. And so to me, there's some good ones in here, but you could have a bad attitude about it. But I'm just going to go in with a positive attitude about this collection and tell you my thoughts on it. And you guys can let me know what you think down below because the formulas are a little bit tricky. But anyway, I'll be curious to see how you feel about it. So this collection is available at Beyond Polish and you can use my code GOLARI10 as always for a discount. That's a 10% discount on full priced items, but their full priced items are already marked down. They start at a good price. So lovely place to shop for polish. They always wrap everything up so nicely. I've never had any issues. It's the best place to buy polish in my opinion. Let's get into it. I'm going to start out with Sutton Screening My Calls, and isn't that name so fun? And I love this yellow. What I love about this yellow is that it's a little bit green leaning, and so it's very cool toned yellow, which are my favorite yellows if I'm going to wear a yellow. In fact, I was at the Gardner store the other day and they had some marigolds that are new that are this color. They're not like the standard yellow. They're a little more cool toned, and I'm so excited to put them in with my tomato plants in my garden, so that should be really fun. It just made me think of that flower. This is kind of a sheer polish. It's got a nice kind of pearly finish and it's got really fine shimmer in there. It's a little bit pearly. Building up this on its own is going to take 3 coats for sure. I think with the live swatches I did 2 coats for each one of these kind of pearly shades that they have. Obviously it's going to take a little bit to build up on its own. There's a plane. So we're gonna let that go by, but it could be my husband. He's out there flying right now. He's taking flight lessons. Kind of gives me anxiety. It's a dream of his though. I don't know if I'll ever go flying with him, but he's taking flight lessons and he loves it, and maybe that's him flying up there. Back to this. So let me tell you my theory behind this. You know how these cat eye nails are so popular right now, and I just had the thought or the idea when I was swatching these is maybe these are meant to go on top of their pairing colors. So in this collection, they have colors that are close to each other that are the same color tone, and this is the shimmery one and this is the cream. So I thought maybe they meant to have this as a topper, and then when you put the top coat on this, it gives you kind of that velvety cat eye look that's so popular right now. Who knows? I could just be making it up, but it was really fun to play with them. That made me feel a little bit more positive about this collection, just thinking that. So I am going to show you the swatch of each of these by itself, and then I'm going to show you a swatch of it with its what I call their companion polish in the collection, and I'll name which one, and I'm going to go alternate so you can see which one I think goes with which. I don't know if that's what they intended, but I feel like that's kind of what they were thinking. So these are going to be really fun to play with if you like to be a little more adventurous with your polish, and I think these colors are so fun for summer. So I love this cool toned green, and you're going to see it over top of the next one that I'm going to talk about, and that is Stay Out All Bright. It also is a yellow, but it does lean a little bit more green, and so I thought it would be perfect paired with that. When these dry down with that satin finish, they do have a nice look to them, and they're not very streaky, which I really appreciated. I do like to add a top coat though, just because I feel like it's going to last longer, but I I do like them drying down just by themselves. I thought they actually looked really nice. So this on top of Stay Out All Bright was really nice, and then I added my top coat, my Glisten and Glow, and you can see here that it really does give that cool effect. I think especially with this lighter color, you definitely get that cat eye velvet look out of it. That's my idea behind these polishes, and I liked this one by itself. I probably wouldn't wear it by itself. I wouldn't buy this just to use by itself, but I think it was fun to play with on top of another polish. So here we have Stay Out All Bright, and this is the yellow that I showed with that other one on top. And this, like I mentioned, is a cool toned yellow as well. So it leans a little bit more green, but it's definitely yellow. There's another green in here, and I'm going to show you right here. It's definitely more green. I don't really like this polish by itself. This is one that I will say, stay away from this one. The formula is just not good. I feel like it even 3 coats, it was not good enough. So I would probably go 4. Just make sure when you're polishing with these that you let them dry completely, because if they're not dried completely and you go in with your other layer, because you can get impatient doing a lot of layers, it can tend to drag at the base and leave a big patch. So float your brush on the 3rd coat and you'll be good to go. But this one, I would say, not my favorite. I would probably put this on top of a different one. But I do have to say, when we get into comparisons, and this is going to be the ugliest comparison shot you have ever seen in your life, but I'm going with it, you guys. I posted it because a lot of these formulas get to be kind of nasty and gross and separated, and I really don't enjoy any of these kind of neonish. I would say this is neonish and more bright. It's not quite super neon. They're all hard to work with, so I'm going to show you those here. So we've got ORLY Road Trippin', and that is brighter and more yellow and definitely a true neon. And you can see it's a little bit different. And then ORLY Glow Stick, I think, is more green. And then Color Club, which has the best formula. I mean, you're still going to probably need 3 coats for this one here by Color Club, but it definitely has a more smooth formula and doesn't get gross. So technically, you're gonna have to do 3 coats anyway with a color like this, but there's a few brands that do neons very well. That would be China Glaze, Morgan Taylor, and Color Club from the ones that I use, and also Cirque Colors. So those are the ones that I would stick to for neons. OPI is not my go-to for neons. I just wanted to show you guys that the formulas are all kind of difficult. So really, it's kind of hard to find a good one unless you're going with those other brands. Lots of talking, but hopefully that was helpful. Then we have Standing in Stilettos, and this is a more creamy orange shade, and it's got that same pearly shimmery finish. It's kind of a silvery shimmer that they all have, and I love the color of this one. I love the tone. I love that it's kind of peachy, and I think it's so fun for summer. Again, this has kind of a very sheer formula. I would definitely go 3 coats on this if you're going to do it by itself. So the companion polish that I showed for this was the one that I'm going to talk about next, and this is Flex on the Beach. It's a beautiful corally color. It's a little bit darker than this one though. I feel like if you apply these on top of something, have it be a similar color. This one was maybe a little bit too dark, so the silver shimmers stood out a little too much, but I wanted you to see how it looked on this polish. I just think that gives it a cool look, and when you add that top coat, it's just so shiny and shimmery and gives that cat eye look. And really cool. So that made me excited for these because I have been wanting to try out that velvet cat eye look. So here we are with Flex on the Beach. It's a beautiful corally color. This one is a coral that is a little bit more orange leaning. There's a lot that OPI has that are more pink or more red. So this is the more orange leaning coral. This formula is still a little patchy at 3 coats. Not the best formula for this one. So this was definitely not a standout for me. And OPI does have a lot of colors similar to this. A lot of them are kind of more pink leaning. But I'm going to show you a few comparisons here for this one. So let's get into those. So I compared it to SPF 30, and that one's darker and not as bright, and that's kind of more of a red corally. And then Time for a Napa is a softer shade, as you can see, and it's more pinky. And then Orange You a Rockstar is a more pink leaning coral as well. I actually really love that one quite a bit. Essie has some that I think are a little bit closer, so let's look at those. So I compared it to Fondant of You, and that one's very close. That one does have a shimmer in it, but that's a very similar tone. And then Don't Kid Yourself is darker and more red, and ORLY Artificial Orange is definitely a true neon, and so it's a little bit different. Love that polish, love that collection. I'll put the link to that collection down below because you need every polish in that one, and I've talked about it a lot, and if you still haven't picked it up, then I don't know what you're doing. You gotta do it. So anyway, I like this one. I think it's okay. I think there's some better polishes out there. It is a little bit different. I'll give OPI that because I really didn't have anything exact in their line. I don't have all the corals, but I have quite a few. So I'll let you guys decide if you get this one or not. Then we have Bikini Boardroom, and I love the color tone of this one. I am such a sucker for these pink leaning purples. I love them so much. It's got that same pearly shimmery finish on it. I love how it looks when it dries down with that satin finish. It's just really pretty, and it looks really nice on the nails and smooth and soft and dreamy looking. But it's really pretty with the top coat on too. So if this is one I would probably try to wear by itself. I don't know, I just really liked it a lot. But it is going to take 3 coats to build this one up too, just like all the rest. Okay, so the companion one that I picked for this is this purple here. This one is a little bit more cooler toned. This is Skate to the Party. It looks pretty on here. The silver does stand out just a little bit more on this one. So you could probably try this on a color that's a little bit lighter than this. It would look really pretty and a little bit more subtle. And when you put that top coat on, like I said, it's going to give you that velvety cat eye look and adds a little bit dimension to it. And so I think that's going to look really cool. So this one I enjoyed. It's my favorite out of all the shimmery pearly shades. So Skate to the Party, the one that I just used for a base for that other purple, is here, and it is beautiful. It's cool toned. I love these kind of purples and there are quite a few of them, so there's going to be quite a few comparisons that I have. This one actually has a really nice formula. It is a little bit sheer, but it built up really nice in 2 coats. I was kind of questioning, and I'm going to need 3, but I felt like if I did them slightly thicker, not too thick, that I could totally get it opaque in 2 coats, and it has a really nice formula. Probably the best formula out of all the polishes in this collection. I feel like this is original to OPI. I feel like Essie has a lot more shades like this, but OPI doesn't. OPI tends to have a lot of blue toned periwinkle shades like this, but none that are more purple leaning. And if they do have purple leaning ones, they're a little bit more on the red tone side. So I like this one quite a bit. Okay, so let's look at those comparisons I have. I'm going to start out with Essie. Wink of Sleep is darker and not as cool. Worth the Tassel is warmer. Playdate is also warmer as well. So those are all a little bit different. Couldn't find anything exactly the same. And then I have China Glaze Left My Heart in Havana. It's a little darker, but very similar tone. Very close to that. That was the closest that I could find to it. So OPI doesn't really have anything close, as you can see here, with Don't Wait Create and Nails of Paradise, which are different tones, and Nails of Paradise is deeper. And then they have some other purples too that are similar tones to this, but they're quite a bit lighter in shade. So this is more of a mid-tone shade. So I love this one. I feel like OPI did a good job with this one, making colors that are unique. So that is one thing I'm going to say, and you'll see that with some upcoming colors, is that they're making shades that are a little bit more unique to their line. So I love this one. Then we have Surf Naked. This one is a blue that's kind of warmer, I would say, and it does have that silver shimmery pearl look to it. Like all the others, it's going to be opaque in 3 coats. It takes a while to build up, but I do like the finish when it dries down. I'm going to show you me applying this also on top of its companion shade here. It's a little bit darker, and so you're going to see a little bit of that silver streaking in there. So maybe this would look a little better with a color that's a little bit lighter, more close to its tone, but I think it would be so cool for that cat eye blue that you want to have for those kind of fun velvet nails. So what's to say about this? I think you guys should definitely, this is the last one of these pearly ones. Let me know if you guys want to give that a try with that cat eye look. I think it looks kind of cool. And this is I'm Yacht Leaving. Love the name for this. The names for all these I think are super fun. Love a good turquoise. I'm always on the hunt for a good bright turquoise for summer. And there are a few faves that I have, and this is probably added to my list. I feel like it is a little bit dark when you put it on, but it does build up to this brightness that you see in the bottle here. The more layers that you add, it's so close to 2 coats, but it's probably going to take 3. But I love this turquoise. I feel like it's showing up a little bit blue in my swatches, but it's definitely more green leaning, which I love. And so I'm going to compare it to these kind of green turquoises that I have. And these are the closest that I have out of my entire collection. So I'm comparing it to Bustling Bazaar. Oh, I didn't take notes on these. Dang it. I believe that one's maybe a little bit darker. And then ORLY Vintage is definitely brighter and kind of a minty turquoise, and that will forever be my fave. But I do love that I'm Yacht to Learning is really fantastic too. These are probably going to be my 2 favorites. And then Essie Along for the Vibe, which is a really great green, and that is kind of a turquoise green as well. That one's fantastic too. That was a Target exclusive collection by Essie, so that might be a little bit hard to find, but it's definitely more green and not as turquoise. So I love this one. I think it's fun. I think you guys are gonna like this turquoise one too. It's probably gonna be one of the standouts of this collection. Summer Monday through Fridays is this next one, and it's this green that I compared to the yellow earlier in the review. But I love these green tones, and there's been quite a few green polishes like this come out in the last couple years, and this one's really fun. Same thing though, this is gonna take 3 coats to be opaque. I did want to mention that it's showing up quite a bit more lime. It's definitely cooler and not as yellow in person than it is in the pictures. I don't know, I was having the hardest time with some of these tones. Sometimes it's hard when the colors are really bright to get complete accuracy on that, so I apologize for that, but I'm just mentioning that so you know. Let's get into the comparisons to see how it compares. I pulled in the ones that I had that were the closest out of all the polishes that I have, and I don't think I missed one, but tell me if I did. But China Glaze Once a Witch, Always a Witch is more green, and I really do love this color. I think that one's so fun. That one has kind of a 3-coat formula as well. And then Tropic Like It's Hot was one of my favorites. I believe it was from last year, maybe the year before, and that's more yellow leaning, and it's quite a bit brighter if I remember right. So Summer Monday to Fridays is more opaque looking, and it definitely does have a more kind of opaque formula. It's not quite totally neon. The formula is a little bit different than Tropic Like It's Hot. And then I pulled in How Does Your Zen Garden Grow, because they have a lot of greens like that, and I just wanted to show you how they compare to those type of greens. The formula is not super fantastic. I think it's really hard with these neons to get them to be super opaque. I'm glad they're at least trying. But I'm sure they're limited on what they can put in their polishes to keep them clean, so maybe that's what's holding them back. I'm not sure, but anyway, I love the color tone of this one, but it is definitely going to take 3 coats. Here's Charge It to Their Room, and this is the one that I put underneath that blue pearly shade, and this one's really pretty. I love these kind of tones as well. They're just really pulling at my cool toned heartstrings because that's mostly what this collection is, so I think it's so fun for summer. So this one's really pretty too. It reminds me of an Essie polish that is like a favorite of mine. Formula on this one's really good, and it goes on in 2 coats. It builds up really nicely. So the darker creams have a pretty good formula, but it does go on in 2 gorgeous coats. Okay, so let's get into those comparisons. I compared it to Rich Girls and Po' Boys. Cannot say that. And that's more of a bright blue. And then Oh You Sing, Dance, Act and Produce. That's more of a purple shade. And then I Heart DTLA. I wanted to put that in because I thought you guys would want to see how it compared to that, and that one's more gray. And then I compared it to Pret a Surfer, and this is the one totally reminded me of. It's so close. That's one of my all-time faves. It's more purple and maybe not as bright, but it's very, very close. So I love this one, new one by OPI. And then Laced and Ready, which was similar. That one is lighter and more gray, and Ripple Reflect I pulled in. That was kind of the closest Essie that I could find for this tone, and that one's brighter and lighter. So I do feel like this is unique for OPI too, which I think is really fun. This one is so pretty. These next 2 are hot pinks, and I love them. They're cool tone pinks. This one like matches my shirt, which is so fun. One's a little bit lighter, one's a little bit darker. I'm going to start with the lighter one. This one is I Quit My Day Job, and this one is a cool toned pink. It's a bubblegum pink, and it is so fun for summer. I've been loving these bubblegum pinks so much. So this totally reminded me of Valley of the Dolls, and I'm going to show you these comparisons here. So Valley of the Dolls was very, very close. Now that is a touch cooler. Now this has maybe a tiny bit better formula, but that also takes 3 coats. So I think OPI is doing awesome. OPI does not have any cooler tone pinks like this. They have this electrifying pink. It's darker, and a lot of their more cooler tone pinks are quite a bit darker and more berry leaning. And so this one is quite unique. So I love what they're doing here. And then Orly Scenic Route is a little more purple, but it was kind of that same color tone. So I was just surprised I couldn't find anything super close to this. I'm gonna pull out a few just to show you guys and talk to you about this, but this is a China Glaze polish called Here for Candy, and that's from their new collection, but it's quite a bit lighter than this, almost white toned. Here's another OPI, and this one's just a touch warmer, but it's very similar. This is quite a bit brighter than this. This is Susie Nell's New Orleans, so it's quite a bit cooler and a little bit brighter than that one, and so they have quite a few that are a little bit like this. And then this purple toned color here by ORLY, Kaleidoscope Eyes, one of my favorites, is even more purple. So this one's just a little bit more bubblegum pink. So I wanted to show you that it is different. So even though the formula is going to take 3 coats on this, I love that they are doing something different. They're bringing us different colors, which is totally what we asked for. And so I love this one. I'm definitely going to be wearing it. I'm excited that it's like Valley of the Dolls. Valley of the Dolls is hard to get. I mean, once those colored polishes are gone, they're gone. Once in a while, they'll like re-release one or two if they're really a fan fave. But that one's you can't really get anymore. So if you love that one, this is a good one to get. It will take 3 coats, so just keep that in mind, but I love it. Make Outside is this next one. So this one's a little bit darker. It's very close to the color of my shirt, so I think that's so fun. Love that it's a little more deeper and rich, and there are a few polishes that I found that were kind of close to this one, so we'll talk about that. But the formula, same thing. You're gonna need 3 coats with these. If you like the color like me, then 3 coats are worth it because painting your nails is fun. So anyway, that's just my little spiel on that. And let's get into those comparisons though that I have. So I compared it to Morgan Taylor Tickle My Keys, and that one's very close. Not exact, but very close, maybe a little bit brighter. And so that one's really great. The formula, I will say, is so much better. That one, Morgan Taylor does a great job with these neons. And Enflowered by Nature Strong is more purple, and then VIP Pink passes. They have a few neons, OPI does, that are more hot pink, and they're more kind of this color. Also, the one that I like is, it's got the pearly shimmer underneath. And I used to wear it on my toes all the time, but I haven't pulled it out for a long time. Hotter Than You Pink. Love that one too. So that one's a little bit darker as well. Pull that out this summer. But I love these. I love both of these pink. They're so fun. Okay, I felt like that was a lot of talking and explaining, and maybe I am like trying to convince you that some of these polishes in here are really great just because I feel like this collection is getting kind of a bad rap. But there are some positives about it, so hopefully you saw that in there. But I know there's a lot of you that are like 3 coats, I'm out, and that's okay. But at least you'll have the information and you'll know. Okay, so let's pick my favorites. I have more than I thought. I really didn't think I'd pick half the collection. Wow, that's kind of crazy. And then these are my favorites just because I'm glad that OPI is adding these types of colors to their line because they really don't have exact colors like this. I mean, yeah, there's going to be things that are kind of close, but these are different. I Quit My Day Job, this pink, and the turquoise, I'm Yacht Leaving, and then the other hot pink, Make Outside. And then these purpley ones. So the pearly shimmer one, Bikini Boardroom, Charge It to Their Room, Skate to the Party. So these are my favorites from the collection. I will let you decide how you feel about it, but hopefully that information was helpful for you guys. So thanks so much for watching and being here. I have a lot of fun summer collections coming up. Essie's here, Orly's here, and China Glaze is here. So I'm going to start on those the beginning of next week. So thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.